Eureka! The word echoed through the hills and valleys, a cry of discovery and excitement. It was a moment that would change everything. Or maybe, ouch, my back, the start of a fever. It was 1848, the year that would mark the beginning of a new era. California was still part of Mexico, a land of vast, untamed wilderness and endless possibilities. Life was simple, like a plain bagel. Then, bam, gold. The discovery that would ignite a frenzy. James W. Marshall found it at Sutter's Mill, a glint of gold that would spark a rush of humanity. It wasn't a bagel, but it caused a stir. The news spread like wildfire, igniting dreams and ambitions. Word spread faster than a rumor in a small town. Whispers turned into shouts, and soon everyone knew. People didn't email or text back then. They relied on word of mouth, letters, and newspapers. News traveled by word of mouth, newspapers, and very slow boats. But travel it did, across the country and around the world. Suddenly everyone had gold fever. The promise of wealth and a new beginning was irresistible. This wasn't about getting rich quick, though some hoped. It was about the allure of opportunity. It was about opportunity, a chance at a new life. Families packed up their lives and headed west. The gold rush wasn't just about gold, it was about dreams. Dreams of a better future, of prosperity and success. People were chasing a better life, even if it meant risking it all. The journey was perilous, but the reward was worth the risk. It was like the lottery, but with more dirt and fewer convenience stores. The odds were long, but the potential payoff was huge. Imagine a cross-country traffic jam, but with wagons and mules. That was the California Trail. Hundreds of thousands of people, from farmers to teachers, packed up and headed west. They came from all over the East Coast, Europe, even China. It was like the world's biggest, slowest house party, and everyone was invited. Ships sailed around South America or risked disease crossing Panama. It was a journey full of danger and hardship. Think of it as a really, really long camping trip, but with the possibility of striking it rich. The journey wasn't for the faint of heart. Many died along the way, but the promise of gold was a powerful motivator. It was like a giant magnet, pulling people from all walks of life towards the setting sun. The gold rush wasn't all sunshine and nuggets. It was hard work. Miners spent their days hunched over streams, panning for gold. Imagine playing a never-ending game of hide-and-seek, but the prize was tiny flecks of metal. The cost of living skyrocketed. A dozen eggs? That'll be $10, please. A simple shirt? $50. And no, it doesn't come in other colors. The gold rush created a booming economy, but it also caused inflation. Think of it as the Wild West version of trying to buy concert tickets. The gold rush wasn't just about individual miners. Businesses boomed too. Saloons, hotels, and general stores popped up like mushrooms after the rain. It was a time of great economic growth, but also of great inequality. Some struck it rich, while others just struck out. Section 4. Faces of Fortune, from 49ers to Levi Strauss. The gold rush attracted a cast of characters more diverse than a New York City subway car. There were the 49ers, so named for the year they arrived. They were the original gold diggers, literally. Then there was Levi Strauss, a savvy businessman who realized miners needed durable pants. Thus, blue jeans were born. Who knew that digging for gold would lead to the world's most popular pants? There were stories of hardship, resilience, and yes, even some luck. Some struck it rich and lived like kings. Others went bust and had to start over. The gold rush was like a giant game of chance where everyone had a shot at winning, but few actually did. Section 5. The Wild Wild West, where saloons outnumbered schools. The gold rush turned California into a giant party, and everyone was invited, especially folks who liked their drinks strong and their tempers short. Saloons were as common as coffee shops are today. Law enforcement? Well, let's just say it was a shoot first, ask questions later kind of environment. It was the Wild West after all. The gold rush led to a boom in population, but not always in a good way. Towns were overcrowded, sanitation was poor, and crime was rampant. But amid the chaos, a new culture emerged. People from all walks of life were thrown together, creating a melting pot of cultures and customs. It was a time of great social upheaval, but also of great creativity and innovation. Section 6. Manifest Destiny and Gold, a recipe for expansion. The gold rush wasn't just about gold, it was a catalyst for a much larger movement that would shape the future of the United States. It was about land, too. The vast, open spaces of the American West were seen as ripe for the taking, a new frontier that promised endless opportunities. The idea of manifest destiny was in full swing. This belief held that Americans were destined by God to expand their territory across the entire North American continent. Americans believed it was their God-given right to expand westward, no matter who was already living there. This often led to conflicts and displacement of Native American tribes. The gold rush sped things up. The discovery of gold in California in 1848 brought a flood of settlers, all eager to strike it rich. California became a state in 1850, just 2 years after the discovery of gold. This rapid growth was unprecedented and marked a significant moment in American history. It was like a real estate frenzy, but instead of bidding wars, there were land grabs and treaties that weren't always fair to the Native Americans who had called this land home for centuries. These treaties often resulted in the loss of their ancestral lands. The gold rush fueled the engine of American expansion, but it also came at a cost. The rapid development brought infrastructure and new settlements, but it also led to environmental degradation and social upheaval. The indigenous populations suffered greatly, losing their land and their way of life. Many were forced onto reservations where they faced harsh conditions and limited resources. The gold rush was a time of great progress for some, but of great loss for others. While it brought wealth and growth to many settlers, it also brought displacement and hardship to the Native American communities. Section 7. The Gold Rush's Afterglow, from Ghost Towns to Silicon Valley. The gold rush may be over, but its legacy lives on. The echoes of that era still resonate through the hills and valleys of California, a state forever transformed by the quest for gold. California wouldn't be the Golden State without it. The very name California conjures images of golden opportunities and endless possibilities, a reputation built on the dreams of those who sought their fortunes here. We're not just talking about the sunshine either. The gold rush brought a flood of people, ideas, and innovations that laid the groundwork for the state's future prosperity. The gold rush transformed America. It wasn't just a regional phenomenon, it was a national event that drew people from all corners of the country and even the world. It spurred economic growth, shaped our national identity, and left behind a legacy that's as complex as it is enduring. The infrastructure built during that time, from railroads to towns, still impacts us today. Those ghost towns scattered across the West, they stand as silent witnesses to the boom and bust cycles that have defined so much of American history, reminders of the boom and bust. And Silicon Valley, it's a testament to how the spirit of innovation and risk-taking has evolved. Well, it's kind of like a modern-day gold rush, with tech replacing pickaxes and laptops instead of shovels. The drive to innovate and succeed is just as intense, and the stakes are just as high. The gold rush was a time of great change and upheaval. It brought out the best and worst in people, revealing both the heights of human ambition and the depths of human greed. It was a time of greed and violence, but also of hope and opportunity. People risked everything for a chance at a better life, and while many failed, some succeeded beyond their wildest dreams. It's a reminder that the pursuit of wealth can have unintended consequences, but also that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can find a way to shine through. The lessons learned from that era are still relevant today. It's a story that continues to fascinate and inspire us, even today, reminding us that the gold we seek is often found not in the ground, but in the stories we tell and the lessons we learn along the way. The gold rush may be history, but its spirit lives on in the innovation and dreams of modern-day pioneers.